Will the meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission for Wednesday, September 5th, 2018, please come to order? For the benefit of those who may not have participated in a Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, our procedures are as follows. We will read the call for the meeting as published in the local newspapers. The applicants will be invited to come forward and present the case, explaining to the Commission and others present what is being requested of this property. Comments of town agencies will be read for each application if there are any. There will be clarifying questions from commissioners. There will then be an opportunity for clarifying questions from the audience. First, those who wish to support the application may come forward, and second, those who oppose the application will then be invited to come forward and express their opinion. As this is a public hearing, it must be recorded. It is necessary for speakers to identify themselves, state their name and address before addressing the commission. The applicant is then free to leave or remain for the balance of the public hearing and the regular meeting, at which time the commission will try to reach its decision on each application. Each applicant will be notified in writing as to the decision of the commission and has the right to appeal to Superior Court if desired. Decisions of this meeting are available the day after the meeting by calling the Planning and Zoning Office, 453-8039, after 9 a.m. Seated this evening are members Richard Wallace, I'm Philip Johnson, Alan Brown, Jason Marchi, and Scott Edmond. Staff present are Aaron Mannix, Lisa Piombino, and our videographers, Peter Schultz. The secretary will now read the legal notice.
I'll preface this by saying if anyone is here for 66 High Street, that project has been tabled. So, notice is hereby given that the Guilford Planning and Zoning Commission will hold a public hearing on September 5th, 2018 at 7:30 in the Nathaniel B. Green Community Center, 32 Church Street, Guilford, Connecticut, in the Mononkatuk Room on the second floor for the following purposes. Glenn H. Gregg, architect, 143 Lower Road, map 160, lot 49-2, zone R5, special permit for accessory apartment located in an accessory building. Dennis and Kathleen Galorn, 222 Race Hill Road, map 109, lot 35A, zone R8, subdivision to 3 lots. Lee Penn, 143 Lower Road, map 160, lot 49-2, zone R5, special permit for accessory apartment located in an existing accessory building. Copies of these applications are available for the inspection at the Town Office of the Planning and Zoning Commission, Town Hall South, 50 Boston Street, Guilford, Connecticut. At this hearing, persons may attend and be heard, and written communications will be received. Dated at Guilford, Connecticut, this 15th day of August, 2018. Philip Johnson, Chairman.
Thank you, and we'd also like to welcome Josh Hirschman, who is also here and seated this evening, and Matt Yerzinski. Everyone's showing up. All right, then. As Richard mentioned, 66 High Street has been tabled, so why don't we move to the first of the public hearing items, Dennis and Kathleen Galorn, my apologies.
Unfortunately, my engineer who did all this fine work has a conflict tonight, so I'm sent in his stead. He's done all the legwork and all the stuff on there. So my name is Dennis Galorn.
Okay.
I live at 222 Race Hill Road. My wife and I own the property and applied for the re-subdivision in the lot. The property is located in the R8 residential zone. It's 12.52 acres. There's an existing house in the center with a garage and a barn. Access with a gravel driveway that is like 650 feet long. The parcel is comprised of a hay field in the front, and the rest of the property is wooded. There are above-ground utilities that go through the woods to the existing house. This is a copy of the site development plan that shows all 3 lots. Lot 1 is 4.1 acres, Lot 2 is 3.7, and Lot 3 is 4.67. The lots will be accessed with a common driveway 13 feet wide in the same location where the driveway is now. The driveway is required to be paved by Joe Court. There are infiltration drains at the edges of the driveways to outlet to existing drainage on Race Hill Road. And that's all I got.
Okay. If you would, that'd be great. Make sure you get the back too.
I don't have the back. This is from Kevin McGee. Did you see this or have this?
I did not have it.
Great, okay. It's dated today. This applicant is proposing to re-subdivide the remaining 12.5 acres of Section B of the Race Hill subdivision into 3 lots. The applicant has completed the checklist to guide low-impact development best management practices and is utilizing several of the recommended practices to prevent additional erosion to the driveway and siltation of the wetlands. Sections of the driveway with a slope greater than 10% are being paved. The stormwater management system consists of infiltration trenches located along the driveway, which discharge to a stone energy dispension pad. At the Inland Wetlands meeting on August 8, 2018, the Guilford Inland Wetlands Commission approved a subdivision referral to the Planning and Zoning Commission and approved a regulated activity for 222 Race Hill Road, map 109, lot 35A, zone R8, for 3-lot subdivision on 12.52 acres with an existing common driveway within the 100-foot jurisdictional review zone, as shown on property boundary survey showing re-subdivision of Dennis and Kathleen Gilliran, creating lots 1, 2, and 3, number 222 Race Hill Road, Guilford, Connecticut, property of Dennis and Kathleen Gilliran, Guilford, Connecticut, prepared by Bascom and Benjamin LLC, dated May 17, 2018, and hand revised August 8, 2018, to show infiltration discharging to a 3x3 dispensing basin and addition of hay bales with conditions. The subdivision plan shows an open space conservation easement to be placed on a portion of Lot 2 and 3. In Lot 3, the conservation easement within this subdivision does not meet the requirements in Section 272-41 for a dedication of land. The conservation easement will not preserve high-quality forest land, significant specimen trees, important animal or plant habitat of rare or endangered species, or protect special wetlands areas, scenic areas, or views. The conservation area is not contiguous with other open space or hiking trails. The subdivision regulations, Section 272-41, Parks, Recreation Area, Open Space, and Town Land require that every subdivision shall provide dedication of 10% of the total area of the subdivision. If this criteria cannot be met, the commission may request the developer applicant to provide a fee in lieu of land donation, Section 272-41D. Recommendations for conditions of approval. First, the Town of Guilford zoning enforcement officer should be notified to inspect the sedimentation and erosion control measures prior to site work. Soil stockpiles should be contained by silt fencing and/or hay bales. Soil erosion and sedimentation control measures shall be maintained until vegetation is established or suitable material is installed to the satisfaction of the zoning enforcement officer. And second, that the applicant pays a fee in lieu of land since the conservation area does not meet the requirement for dedicated open space. The fee in lieu of land is based on 10% of the value of the subdivision. Did you know that there was that issue? Has anyone from the town addressed?
I spoke with George Paul last week, and he presented it to me as
Okay.
either or, so that was my understanding.
Okay.
That it was there. He said while it was not particularly valuable in the open space world, that it met the criteria there, so he presented that to me as an either or option.
What do you mean by either or?
Or the open space or the fee. in
Oh,
lieu of
okay,
that.
okay. Yeah, so I guess that's what the situation is, an either or that our environmental planner is recommending the fee in lieu of. So I'm sure that if we spoke with him and he said that he doesn't care which one it is, then it can be either or.
Yeah, that's how he presented it to me.
So I spoke with George, he was out today, but I spoke with him and he said you were going to explain to the commission why you were not interested in the fee in lieu of versus the conservation
Oh, yeah, he didn't get
easement.
that letter with me as he presented to me. We spoke on the phone for like 20 minutes, and he said that he made it sound to me like an either or, so that's what I got out of the conversation. I don't know if I misunderstood there or something. That's how he presented it. He said, I can't make you do it, but he said, we don't always like the land, and I thought it helped the neighbors, and if somebody that's interested in purchasing the rear lot, and they liked it the way it was, and I thought it was designed to be a buffer to the neighborhoods in lieu of, rather than a park setting or what have you. I thought that was where the 10% was generated from, was trying to create open space to the neighbors.
So is the open space detailed there in the rectangle?
Yes.
And is that the 10%? Does that
It's
meet?
an isolated portion between the middle and upper lot, So that, if you're looking at this map, Race Hill Road is on the top.
Right. Yep.
And so this is that's the upper portion in which they're proposing as an open space easement.
I mean, obviously you get to choose, as to which you prefer to do, and I don't think we need to make a decision on that here and now, do we?
So, no, I know that Pat Benjamin, your engineer, is not here today, and we had discussed possibly continuing the public hearing to allow him to come at the next meeting to explain the specifics of the subdivision if the commission has any questions. And another reason why staff would recommend continuing that public hearing is so that Mr. Benjamin has an opportunity to update the map to reflect the infiltrators, the disconnect, and that splash area that is supposed to be fed into the wetland. Instead of, he has not, that was handwritten in at the wetlands meeting, and he has not updated the drainage drawings to show that. But that was a concern of the commission, was to have that disconnect to allow some of the stormwater
Yes,
to
no, I was-
recharge in the wetland.
It's written on there. I didn't know.
Is the map as currently drawn shows, does the map show 10% currently? Or does the map?
Yes.
Okay, so,
It comes into,
It seemed like Kevin's point was that the space was not actually, he mentioned some things about what the space does not do.
yeah, it doesn't fit.
And so that's why his recommendation is the fee as opposed to the open space. That's my
so in
understanding.
this,
Yeah.
so in this situation where you have these small parcels that are being subdivided, or these smaller subdivisions, and you get these isolated little open space portions that either the town may choose to accept or not, and then there are these conservation easements isolated around town that are not connected or really serve a purpose for open space, it becomes more of a burden on the town where they're monitoring them. And so whether or not the town really wants to have these little pockets or to accept a fee in lieu of that goes into the open space fund where where the money accrues for more desirable locations to be used for open space, whether it's linked to another property or that it could serve a better
So again, I
purpose.
would
So that's
reiterate
the,
It's kind of at your option. If the town so chose not to accept the property, then it would proceed without that?
I didn't understand that they accepted it. I asked them how the mechanics of this work. I thought it remains as open space. I didn't understand that the town takes title to it. That was just
it would
listed
end up
as
being
open
a deed
space.
restriction. It would end up being a deed restriction if
yeah, it's open space, so
if the
it's
town
not-
does not, right.
yeah,
If the
so
town
it's
doesn't
not-
want it as open space, or the land trust doesn't want it as open space, then it ends up just being a deed restriction on those individual
But you wouldn't have
properties.
it as a liability. You wouldn't own it, so it would be upon them. There's no maintenance to say, so 10 years from now, you don't have to be up there supervising it, that you don't take ownership of it. It's designed for open space so that
If
nobody would build there in
if
the
it's
future.
solely listed as a deed restriction,
Yeah.
but others that are accepted as open space, yes, then that is the
There's also
responsibility of the
open
town.
space conservation. I was understanding that stays with this property, but they can't touch it. That was how he
So
explained
what was the
it to me.
discrepancy that Kevin was addressing? What is Kevin's issue? Because then I don't
So,
fully understand.
as the subdivision regulations require 10% of the lot area to be designated as open space. It may be met through a few different options: dedication of the land within the subdivision, a fee in lieu of land donation, dedication of land and a fee in lieu. So the area dedicated to open space, it has 8 different criteria here in order to preserve high-quality forest land, to preserve areas with significant specimen trees, particular animals or habitat, endangered species, to join open space, like along the West River. We've done that to try to create trails along the river. Walking, hiking, biking trails, areas to protect special wetland areas, stormwater management purposes, or scenic views. And so typically, those are the areas that would be of higher interest where you would seek that land versus, instead of a fee in lieu.
So what Kevin is Kevin's listing out the things that he feels do not
He
meet
feels
up
that,
with those.
right,
So
that this
Kevin
is
is
not a
saying-
high-quality area where you would,
You mentioned endangered animals, and how it doesn't have endangered animals or specific species and that sort of thing.
Where's the driveway on that? Where's the driveway on that?
The driveway is existing up, there's an existing house here,
Yeah,
and then the third driveway is brought up to here at the limit of the 750 feet.
so they're all going to be using the driveway in front of your house?
This house, yeah.
This third house is going to be going right over your property there.
It's going to come in and take off here and go straight forward.
So house 1, 2,
And then
and
this
3
one
are
will-
serviced by, actually, 3 is serviced by the whole thing all the
Yeah,
way.
this one comes right in off the front, so the existing driveway, and then it tapers up to lot 3 in the back.
So that top driveway goes right through the middle of that building lot.
Yeah,
Almost.
Yes, this is a lot of wetlands, there's not much usable area here. It's
So the
not
only
lot
buildable
size.
side is to the left.
Yeah, this is all clear field area, and then this is the existing house in that area, and then this is the rear lot.
So do you have an objection to us continuing this to the next public hearing?
I guess not, I mean, that's not really my place to
Well,
say, I
yeah.
thought it was an either or
right.
situation.
Yeah.
Staff would recommend that, so that the map that is approved by the commission is consistent with the map that was approved, the conditions from the wetlands, as opposed to approving something and then requiring a change.
possible. We will make it as quick as possible.
Okay.
And just to be clear, so do you want to be contributing the 10% of the land, or did you want to do a fee in lieu of?
I wanted to do the land there because
But this will also give you a chance to clarify that with George or town staff, so you can know exactly what the options are and what works out best for you.
Okay. Yeah, originally George thought he was
Um,
going to be here tonight, so I thought that was one thing.
It was unexpected.
Do we want
today.
to take questions, comments from the audience? Or do you want to just do, are there any clarifying questions from the audience? Would anybody like to speak in favor of the application? Would anyone like to speak against? Okay.
Move we take this to the 19th.
Move to continue from Mr. Wallace. Do I have a s- All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, Lee Penn, come on down.
I'm Lee Penn, and I've asked my architect, Glenn Gregg, to speak on my behalf.
Very good.
As they said, I'm Glenn Gregg, the architect for their property at 143 Lower Road. And these are photographs of the existing house. You can see it's a very handsome house with a nice front porch across the front and an attached garage that's attached only by a walkway and a cover over it right now. And this is another shot of the garage on the side, which has a dormer, which actually sort of repeats the one that's on the main house. The purpose of being here, of course, is to seek a special permit for an apartment over this garage to be occupied by Linda Penn's parents. This is the existing house on the site plan, and this is the garage, three-car garage on the side where we build the apartment. And the shaded area is the area of new construction, which will be the link between the two. The table over on the left side covers all of the various criteria that it asks for in the regulations, and in each case, we meet them or exceed them. So, and these, of course, include the lot area, the lot area frontage, the total height and the average height, as well as the setbacks on all the other sides, plus the lot coverage itself. The only thing that really changes here is the lot coverage, which increases infinitesimally by the work that's being done right here. These are the existing plans of the house, just starting with the basement and the foundation of the garage. And then on the first floor, we have a entry hall, the living room, family room, breakfast room, and kitchen, and a formal dining room, as well as the garage, the three-car garage on the side. On the second floor, there are 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms plus a laundry. And I'll go quickly through the things that we're doing that aren't affected by the apartment, so just to give you the context. In the basement, which comes out at grade on the back, we're going to have a home office. Lee Penn actually does most of his work from home, so this will be his home office. And these are the foundations for the new construction, linking the two. On the first floor, very little work inside the main house itself. We will have a new kitchen, new cabinets. Everything there dates back to 1995 when the house was built. So new cabinets, new appliances, and a breakfast nook over on the side. This is where the main work is going to happen. 3-car garage. There'll be a new stair going up where a temporary stair goes up to the platform that's up there right now, up on the area above the garage. And then a new entry foyer with a handicap ramp outside, even though both the parties will be living here ambulatory now. They may in the future not be, of course. So the idea is to come up the 18 inches or 15 inches really from here to the main porch level, which is the main entry level as well as the first floor. And then to be able to get into an elevator, which we'll put an elevator in this area, to take you up to the upper level. So you can either come in privately here as the family from the garage if you're there and stay under cover, or you can come in to the garage and walk upstairs to the second floor, or come into the garage and go to the elevator up to the second floor. So again, up on the second floor, this is the laundry up on the second floor, so we connect a ramp from this point over to make up the level differences between the new apartment up here and there below. So when you come up with the elevator, you either go here into the main portion of the house where they're doing very little work, just cosmetic work, up in the bedroom, master bath area. But this is the main issue, which is the apartment. The living area of the apartment is open with a seating area up in the dormer that I showed you in the front of the photographs, and a small seating area here for dining, with a little deck outside because there's a bird sanctuary all down to the east side on the back side, so they can sit outside. Then a bedroom with a bay window, which reflects the kind of bay windows that are on the front of the house right now, and a bathroom that has access from both the living area and from the bedroom, and sort of a roll-in for a shower that allows you, if you were in a wheelchair, to go in. The accessibility all the way out throughout. Trying to keep 3 doors everywhere we can, a minimum of 2'8", but you can get a wheelchair through, but to make it accessible if it needs to be in the future. The key thing is that what we're doing here makes it possible for them to be able to put family within the house, to be able to take care of them as they age, but to do it with the least kind of impact on the house itself except visually. And this is the drawing of the completed work. The only thing that's really different is the roof right here carries across the meter, so there's more roof area here. We carry the same plane of this roof right over it, just tucks back behind into the roof. Otherwise, it stays almost as it is, really on the outside. So if you have any questions, be happy to take those. And again, Mr. and Mrs. Penner are here as well, and they'd be happy to answer any questions you might have as well.
Do you have a generator?
Yes, we do.
That would be good. Elevator.
I can tell you that I have one myself.
No, I'm just saying, if you lose power and somebody's stuck in the elevator, you definitely need it.
That would be tough.
There's a letter here from Dennis Johnson. Did you receive that regarding septic?
Yes, we did.
I'll just read it in for the record. The applicant's current septic system is adequately sized to accommodate the addition of a 1-bedroom accessory apartment. The addition will not encroach or conflict with the location of the septic system well currently existing on the site, or the well currently existing on the site. It is recommended that the applicant's proposed special permit be approved. Anything else we need to read in here? Is this? Okay. Just this kind of standard procedure for us, we always kind of kick it. Does it check all the boxes in terms of everything that we need? Is there anything
Yes,
missing?
I did
Okay.
provide a
Sorry.
memo. Yes, they comply, this proposal complies with the zoning regulations. The addition is CAM exempt. It's greater than 100 feet from the coastal resource. And for your benefit, we do have a mandatory second public hearing unless the commission decides to.
I'm
waive
assuming you
that.
notified all the budding neighbors, and I guess we'll get to that in a second, whether or not anyone's in favor or against. Commissioners, any questions?
I should say we'd be very interested in the expedited delivery if we could, just one, if nothing else, just because of the age of the parents. But
Sure.
also, just because of the weather, maybe coming in and so forth.
Got it.
Time limits
Oh,
and all that.
Certainly will
Okay.
give that full consideration. Are there any questions from the audience? Any clarifying questions? Would anyone like to speak in favor of the application? Would anyone like to speak against? Okay, then.
We'd have to make that decision now, right? We're gonna close-
Correct.
yeah.
So why don't we close? And then
Yeah.
we can,
We can't
You can't close the hearing until
Okay.
you vote that you're not
so
continuing it.
would someone like to make a motion
Well,
to?
I'll make a motion to
consider-
not continue it for the main purpose that this has been very clear, it's for someone's parent in the house.
Second.
Okay, great.
Okay, so we have to waive the second public hearing? I'm in favor of it. I think it's a pretty straightforward application, meets all the criteria, is very well presented, so I'll call the vote. All in favor of waiving the second public hearing? Okay, then, in that case, we can close. Want to make a motion to close? Someone? All in favor? Thank you. There we go. You're the first one to get that in a while. Yeah, exactly. Okay, we will approve the revised agenda. We'll straight to deliberation of public hearings, which at this point is only depends. Comments, questions?
I'll make a motion.
Great.
Okay. Voted that the Guilford Planning and Zoning Commission approves a special permit application for Lee Penn 143 Lower Road, map 160, lot 49-02, create accessory apartment on the second floor of garage as shown on a set of plans entitled Penn Residence 143 Lower Road, Guilford, Connecticut, sheets T1, A1 through A3, dated August 3rd, 2018, by Glenn H. Gregg, FAIA Architect. Be it, there are no conditions. Be it further voted that this application is approved based upon a finding that it conforms to all applicable sections of the zoning code of the town of Guilford. Be it further voted that the special permit shall be effective on September 14th, 2018, and upon recording a certified copy in the land records of the town of Guilford.
Second. Great. Discussion?
They checked.
I mean, I wish they were all this easy.
All the boxes were checked, everything is clear, presentation was straightforward.
Neighbors have no problems, or they would be here. So, I'll call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Have fun. All right. Application to be received. 3 Sachem's LLC, 78 Sachem's Head Road, map 21, lot 14-2, zone R5, special permit for accessory structure over 750 square feet, 925 square feet detached garage. Receive and set public hearing date of 9/19/18.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. Lori D. Barnaba, sorry about that. 131 Old Quarry Road, map 6, lot 6A, zone R5, coastal area management for removal of 2 underground oil tanks and replacement of one 1,000-gallon tank. Receive and set public hearing date of 10/3/18. All in favor? Thank you. 66 High Street LLC, 66 High Street, map 32/32, lot 60/64, zone I-1/R3, special permit modification for site work including shoreline stabilization in compliance with the Connecticut DEP consent order to remove a portion of a site wall installed with the coastal jurisdiction line and construction of in-ground pool and support facilities. Receive and set public hearing date of 10/3/18. All in favor? Thank you. It's going to be a fun one. Site plan, Sarah Boone, Guilford Racket and Swim, 420 Church Street, map 80, lot 2-1, zone I-1, site plan modification for construction of 14 by 20 paddle warming hut. Should be platform tennis, but we'll go with paddle warming hut. Receive and request action. I know.
Just throwing it out there, they gotta call it what it is.
Hi, everyone, I'm Sarah, I'm the owner-manager of Guilford Racket and Swim. We just went through the ZBA hearing a week ago, 2 weeks ago, because we needed to get permission to build within our setback. We wanted to build a paddle warming hut on the, and we got approved, to build a paddle warming hut on the west side of the existing paddle courts. And we already got approval from wetlands to build piers and also to
So this is just a,
lessen our
right.
setback
Plan
distance.
modification for the rear.
right, so it's just a site plan modification from your current.
It's a site plan modification
Got it.
from the existing site plan. At this point, that's what I'm looking for. Thank you for saying that.
So is the hut gonna be like at court level, a little higher than court level?
It's going to be, what would you like it to be?
Doesn't matter to me.
It's going to be just above, the plan is to be just above the court plane level so that you have a good view of it, and to be, again, alongside one of the courts, so that you have a full view of one court, and then a deck so that you could be on part of the decking and see the other court, the full view.
Well, just out of curiosity and selfishness, will there be stairs off the back of the deck heading toward the woods, or?
So, I have a really itty bitty plan here. It doesn't propose anything because there are stairs that go from the middle of the paddle courts back to it.
Okay.
But I don't see why we wouldn't, there's concrete here, one could put, those are stairs right there.
Okay.
They have them proposed down this way, so.
I've seen people hit balls.
No.
Never
No,
made.
everybody
but
keeps them in the
Slew of
court.
them back there.
Yeah, there are a lot of them.
That's more frustration than anything else.
Yeah, and there was a ramp that we had built and then put up when there was a lot of
Right.
snow or something, so yes, we understand the need for access to the woods.
You always say those were from the dogs and.
They are
And
there exercising. They can
clarifying,
go-
You do get into setbacks.
Yes.
There was a variance granted for rear setback, a 5-foot variance, so they would not be able to encroach further than that.
considered impervious because the water just goes through it.
So, right, the applicant had a rear setback variance, and they were granted a variance for impervious surface coverage, and that is for the actual bird's eye view cover of the hut itself, not the decking. The decking is considered pervious surface.
Yes.
This lies outside of the 100-foot jurisdictional review of the Inland Wetlands Commission, so a permit is not required by the Inland Wetlands Commission.
What is a paddle warming?
You've got to ask. First of all, it's platform tennis.
Nice.
It is, when you play paddle or platform tennis, it's generally played most actively in the winter months when it's colder. And if you're not actively playing, it is cold standing around. So if you're waiting for your court or you want to watch, they have this tradition of having a hut where you can go in and warm up and maybe have a cup of coffee and watch other players or wait for your turn to get on the courts. We would have the ability to use it also for some pickleball players who come out in the summertime, although they won't need it. I mean, it's not going to be air conditioned, so I'm not sure that they want it, but it is designed for the paddle players.
I assume there's like an electric heater or something like that?
Yeah, we have a gas line, a natural
Right.
gas line out there, so we thought we would do a natural gas fireplace.
Nice. I have played there a few times.
So with the certificate of variance filed, this complies with the zoning code.
Be it voted that the Guilford Planning and Zoning Commission approves a site plan modification for Casana LLC at 450 Church Street, map 80, lot 2-1 for construction of a 14-foot by 20-foot warming hut and observation deck as shown on plan entitled Property Survey, Property of Casana LLC, dated and revised July 26, 2018 by Waldo and Associates.
Very good. Do I have a second?
Do you want to finish? Yeah, be it further.
Some
yeah.
additional.
Further voted that the application is approved based on finding that it conforms to all applicable sections of the zoning code of the town of Guilford. Be it further voted that the modification of the site plan shall be effective September 14, 2018.
Discussion? I think it's great. I mean, to like bias anyone's
Yeah, no,
decision,
we
but I
shouldn't
mean,
have any
I think it'll be a nice addition. I think it'll help a lot of players and maybe get more encouragement. Let other people try it out.
I would say that part of my family business has been Guilford Rec, and it's been for 40 years. And our goal is always to provide a community and a place for people to come together. And paddle is very communal and very social. And for how many years have we had it? 7 years we've had the paddle courts, and they've been asking me to have a paddle hut. And I've said, come inside and socialize with other people, but they don't really want to do that. They really want to stay together. So I think it'll be a nice addition.
Any questions? Call the vote. All in favor? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Item C, subdivision. Are we opening and then continuing?
No, it's not a public hearing, they're just tabling.
Great, so we'd like to table Vigliotti Construction, Long Hill Estates West, map 57, lot 205, zone R3, 4-lot subdivision.
Do we have a date that they want to table to, or is it just?
Yeah, they'll be back for the 19th. They just have to, we met with them, Janice Blasiak and I met with them today, and we have to change the map.
2018.
I don't know.
Yes. Do I have a second?
Yeah,
Do you have a
second.
motion for that?
I'll make a motion. Do we need a motion for that, or is it just?
Table it?
Yeah.
No, the applicant requested to be tabled.
So be tabled then. Okay. We have any other business here?
No.
Okay.
Minutes.
Did anyone have an opportunity to review the minutes?
Did, it looks substantially correct.
Very good.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Okay.
Abstain.
I abstained also. Okay. With all that said and done, I would make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
You beat it by 2 minutes.
There we go. Thank you, team.